Okay, so first thing I wanted to go over, business structures.
Okay.
We have sole proprietorships, we have LLCs, we have S corps, we have C corps. Can you run through what those are? And well, yeah, just start off with going what those are.
Yes. So with the different types of first things first is sole proprietorship is the easiest thing that you could do. By the way, if this is too much information, I wrote a book called Handle Your Business. It's on Amazon. But sole proprietor literally is you decided that you want to monetize your gifts, your brilliance, whether it's cooking, it's cleaning, whether it's taking care of children. You do not set up a structure. You do not go to the corporation bureau to find out whether or not there's a name or anything else like that. You just pretty much offer your products and or services for a fee and people pay you for it. Done.
And everybody can do that with a social security number, right?
Pretty much everybody can do that. Even if they say, oh, I want to do something and that if they using their governmental name, because I have met so many people on social media, and I've met people in Pennsylvania and New Jersey who have started a business, a sole proprietorship, but they're not using their government name. And when I hear it, I tell people immediately, please, please, please file a DBA, a fictitious name, because under the rules, if you start a business and you're a sole proprietorship and you did not formalize it, you're like, I don't need this. I'm gonna just do my own thing. And you're using a name other than yourself, then that's unlawful. It's like a fictitious name, and it's like, the law says that it's criminal action. So don't do it. I meet plenty of people who are not using their real name. Bubba's Handicap, Salmon and Bob's, their favorite names or whatever, even some stage names. If you're making money, you're making coins off of it, you need to do a DBA. So we move on and say there's family and friends who are like, oh, I want to start a business together. You know how people do that with their friends and their family, and they start a business together. And if we call it a partnership, whether it's 2 people or 3 people, obviously it's more than one person. They're like, hey, let's get together. They start a partnership and they don't want to formalize. There's a lot of people who just get it started, and we call it JV enterprises, where you're making your money, you're making your coins. Well, guess what? You can do that. And the sad part about a sole proprietorship and even a JV partnership.
Well, let's tell them what a JV is.
Oh, I'm sorry. A joint venture, when 2 people or 3 people, as many people come together and say, hey, I want to make some money. Let's make some money doing car wash. Let's make some money doing, I don't know, luxury limousines and things of that nature. You use your stuff, I use my stuff. Let's make some money doing, I don't know, like Boss Ladies Brunch. If I was doing it with a group as opposed to myself, that would be a joint venture arrangement, right? With regards to when you don't formalize, whether it is a sole proprietorship or whether you don't formalize because it's a partnership, because you guys got together, you're friends, you like each other, you're setting yourself up. Because I tell people, when you're starting a business, or when you're working with people, I don't care if it's your best friend, your boo, your husband, somebody at church, whatever, then there can always be a confusion, there can always be a misunderstanding, there can always be a frustration of an expectation or something along that, which causes problems. And to me, there's nothing that beats a conversation like documentation. So you put it in writing. And another thing, which most people are like, oh, I don't want to get involved, it's too formal or whatever. But when you don't formalize and say something happens, like there's a lot of people who have coaching programs, say something happens, guess what? If there's a lawsuit, a person can come after your stuff and your business stuff. So I'm a big proponent of formalizing. To me, the easiest way to formalize is actually, whatever you're doing, please stop. The easiest way to formalize to me is filing an articles of an organization for an LLC. Boom. It's formal.
LLC stands for Limited Liability.
Limited Liability Company.
Okay.
Yeah. So easy breezy done. You file it. Easy breezy done. You file it because you're doing it on your own. It's going to be a disregarded entity anyway, unless you decide to boss up and take it another step and be taxed as, like a C corp or an S corp.
Now however, you talking, you in my lane now. You talking my talk.
Hey, some people always be like, "Oh, you're an attorney who talk accounting language." I'm like, I'm an attorney who knows ish.
So since you brought it up, you got to tell people what a disregarded entity is.
Okay, so disregarded means that you're essentially it's almost like it's your alter ego. It's not like it's an S corp or C corp. It's not like a formal entity. It's like more like you're disregarded, and that your persona doesn't matter. You don't have to file like a form 1120, whether it's for an
Yeah.
S or 1120 or partnership K1 or whatever. All you can file is your C corporation. Like, it's almost like the same form that you file in a side hustle is the same form you can file with your LLC. But then you can talk to Kamari about self-employment taxes and what is better for you. Because, I know the rules, but I let somebody else play with the widgets. So, but with regards to I like the limited liability limited company, because of the fact that if you do it right, not because you filed articles of organization, but you actually set up a business, set up a bank account, maybe got some risk management, some insurance, you treat your business as a business, you have invoicing, and you're not paying for your personal expenses and from your business expenses. And I had a conversation with somebody about that yesterday. You mean I can't do that? I'm like, no. Pretend like it's someone else's business. Pretend like it's someone else's business, so you can set it in arm's length transaction. That way there's no issue, right?
Right.
So with regards to, if you do everything right and you establish your business as though it's a business, the cool thing is then you will have that limited liability in case someone says, oh, I tripped, I fell, or I swallowed a toenail from, mama's recipe. I knew that she used to her hands and her feet, but I didn't know she put toenails in the recipe, like that type of stuff. Because in this litigious society where someone is always trying to come up based on your downfall, to me, it's always good to have paper prophylactics, which is, to me, formalizing your
prophylactics.
Mm-hmm. You got to protect them assets, right?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
So to me, that's the best thing. It's not as formal as a C corp or an S corp, depending on how many shareholders you have or members that you have. But it's less formal. You don't have to worry about, oh, do I have at least like a president, a vice president, a secretary, or do I at least have a secretary, a treasurer? Most people get confused by that kind of stuff, especially when they're starting out. So it's less formal. Did I have my annual meeting? Did I have to make a decision? Because there's a lot of people who start corporations and they truly act like it's me, myself, and God. I'm like, no. You're supposed to defer to the board. You can't make a decision without the board.